Hey everyone, this is Certified High Performance Coach Michelle Weimer here with you today. I want to thank you for joining me. And this is that time of the year when everybody is super busy, so much going on. Now, granted, this year maybe not as much because people aren't traveling as much or are planning get-togethers and things like that, but it can still be busy. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about how sometimes we give and give of ourselves at the expense of ourselves, or we give and give to others at the expense of ourselves. And so I just kind of want to take that a little bit farther today. Whether you're someone who's discovered you're kind of a people pleaser, or you're suffering from what I like to call Superwoman Syndrome, and just again always giving to others at the expense of yourself. What I want to talk about is how much of a slippery slope it can be to go from a place of service to sacrifice. And the truth of the matter is, when you start to get into that space of sacrifice and exhaustion and overcommitment, you really aren't serving at the highest level that you could be. So doing more and more and more doesn't necessarily mean better, better, better. It's really important to know where you want to serve, how you want to serve, who you want to serve. And when I say serve, I mean like caring for others, committing to a cause, and that cause might be as simple as your purpose of being a mom and raising your children, or it may be your purpose of serving your church or your community, or it may be in your career, and how you show up at work every day. Maybe you lead a team of people. Maybe maybe you just want to give the best customer service possible to the people that you do serve. Maybe you are in a service-based industry. Whatever the case, whatever service means for you, we do have an opportunity to be of service, and sometimes that service is like I mentioned earlier about raising your children, or it's really close to home, like being there for a friend to help them out when they're in need. Or especially right now, this time of the year, people are depressed and struggling through the holidays, and they're feeling lonely and alone. Maybe being of service might mean bringing some groceries to your neighbor who is afraid to get out, or doing a Zoom call with your family and organizing the whole thing so that everyone can see each other and connect as best as possible. So whatever service means to you, that's fine. And it is so great to be kind and of service. And it's important to strive to do and be your best, but it's not okay to do those things, again, at the expense of yourself, or because the intention behind your actions is either a need to prove yourself, your self-worth, or a need to to validate yourself and your ability to be a certain way. So keep that in mind. And if you missed the last couple of weeks videos that I've shared with you on people pleasing and Superwoman Syndrome, go back and look at those, because that dives more into that. But what I really want to talk about today is how to avoid slipping from that intentional place of service to unwanted sacrifice. So I'm going to share with you a few things. First of all, number one, keep life simple. Excuse me. Know what and who are most important to you. Keep the tasks, the to-dos that are most closely related to what's truly important to you at the top of your priority list, and then delegate the other stuff or let it go. If you can, whatever that might be, but keep it simple in knowing these are my top priorities, these are my top tasks. Number two, pause and think before you respond to any request. I mean, if you say yes to everything, the fact of the matter is there is always a corresponding no. So you have to be really careful and think about this, like how will your answer truly affect you? And how will it affect those that matter most to you? If you are always saying yes to outside sources, who are you saying no to? Are you saying no to your family? Are you saying no to, other things that are important to you? Are you saying no to yourself, when you're in need, and taking care of your own self? And, again, like you can serve at a higher level when you do take care of you. So be sure that you weigh your answer before you react or respond to any request that someone makes of you. Number three, be present and in the moment. And this is important anytime, but it also rings true here, right? Rather than being in the past or the future, staying really present helps you put in more quality time rather than just doing a bunch of stuff, rather than just being busy for the sake of being busy. It really helps you get grounded and be present. And the truth of the matter is, it's not always about the quality, or excuse me, the quantity of the things that you do. Being present is also helps you, um, you know, uh, like be of quality in your time that you spend with people and in the service that you give. Being present also helps you assess how you're feeling. So if you're going to past points of service, um, or into sacrifice, or into this future focus of I have to be doing this, and this, then really take some time and take a deep breath and bring yourself back to the present. And really what that helps you do also is recognize what's most important, right? This goes back to that keeping it simple. um, the next point is let go of perfectionism and really know that you're not, that you are enough. It's an impossible goal, and you'll run yourself into the ground trying to reach this idea of perfection. So instead, set an intention every day for how you want to show up, and then be your best self. Okay, and this kind of goes hand in hand with that quality versus quantity thing, right? Sometimes we try to do too much because we think who we are is not enough, or what we're doing is not enough. But sometimes it's not about that. It's just about that quality, and really, again, being present with people. So um, you can journal your successes every night. That's a great way to recognize and acknowledge your accomplishments. And the truth of the matter is, most people, they rarely give themselves enough credit, for what they're succeeding at. And some days you might reach higher levels of yourself, of your service, and that's okay. Some days, not so much. But what you can do when you evaluate that is say, okay, how can I be my best tomorrow? This might be my best today. What's going to be my best tomorrow? And just keep the intention and know that you're enough. Um, the last one is just love yourself and practice that self-care. Loving yourself enough to take care of yourself is vital to your ability to be of service to others. Self-care is not selfish. It's really essential to living this fully charged life that I know you want to live, and it is going to help you serve at a greater capacity. You can't give from an empty cup, so you've got to fill your cup regularly. And when you do that, you'll be amazed at really the difference that it makes in how you're able to show up, how you're able to serve others. So when you catch yourself on this slippery slope from service to sacrifice, use these tips that I've given you today to kind of, reevaluate, take off that Superwoman cape and get back into alignment with your true power. Let your true strengths and your talents, your creativity and your passions shine through. We all have this potential and the ability to become less stressed and actually live a fuller and happier and more successful life, a life of greater service, in fact, when we let go of this need to please or be superwoman, and instead we just become that best version of ourselves. So I want to encourage you to do that. And as I mentioned at the beginning, with the holidays in full swing, it's extra important that you take time to check yourself and to have the self-care, that you keep yourself in a place of, yes, being of service, but not sacrificing, not going into a sacrifice mode. So take care of yourself, fill your cup so that you can give more and more to others. And oh, by the way, you know what? Speaking of the holidays, you can go to michelleweimer.com/holiday habits. You can grab yourself a little high performance holiday habits list that I've created for you if you want to make sure that you are giving and taking care of the holidays in a really healthy, productive way, but not going to sacrifice mode. Grab that guide and that will help you. And speaking of holidays, I know that right now, again, is tough for everyone. So make sure that you grab that guide and that you're on my list, because you're going to be the first to get my holiday coping 2020 edition if you are on that list. So go and grab the guide, and then you'll have yourself ready and set up to be one of the first to get my holiday coping guide 2020 edition, which will be coming out next week. So until then, thank you so much for joining me, and keep serving, and keep caring, and keep showing up brightly. Bye for now.